was actually two out-of-work Italian window cleaners by the name of Luigi La Squeegee and Sammy La Chamois. No, weren't really. Home to Channel 5 and the Health Lottery. Now, if you stay looking to the right-hand side, ladies and gents, in a moment, between the buildings, you're going to see St Christopher Wren's monument to the Great Fire of London. You don't get long to look at it. There it is, I can see it. Stands 202 feet tall. If you was to lay it down 202 feet in the direction behind us, it would reach a little baker's shop in Pudding Lane, where the Great Fire of London is said to have started. Now this bridge here, this is the world famous London Bridge. Okay, this is actually the 5th London Bridge to span the river at this point. And the previous one, it was actually sold to an American company for £1 million. It got taken down stone by stone, shipped off to America, where it now stands over Lake Havasu, on the edge of the Arizona desert. Now the next bridge, ladies and gents, this is the Cannon Street Railway Bridge, the lovely green bridge, the Cannon Street Railway Bridge. Cannon Street Station, that's to the right hand side of the bridge. You'll just see a train poking out of the station. Now above the train, you might notice the carefully blended in modern office complex between the two Victorian towers. Now beneath the bridge on the right, you've got a green door and some windows. Now that green door and the windows, that is a luxury 5-star health and fitness spa. Okay. What the architects failed to consider was, every 5 minutes, you've got a boat like this going past. You've got someone like me pointing that out. Some days, the views are better than others. Some days, we turn the boat around, we go and have another look. Some days, I wish I never pointed that out, ladies and gents. Believe me. Have you ever wondered how London gets rid of its household rubbish? You've never wondered that, have you? I'm going to tell you anyway. On the right, you've got a barge with some containers. Now we compact all of our household rubbish into those containers, and a tug comes to pick them barges up. Then we ship that rubbish off to a place called Essex. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, Essex? That's where we get rid of all of our rubbish from London. And then they reward us with the worst television you have ever seen in your life. Okay, by that crap known as Towie. Hello. Hello there, alright? Yeah. Now, ladies and gents, over to the right-hand side, there's a grey building with 4 columns, Vinters Place, home to the Vinters Company. In that building, they have one of the most undesirable jobs in all of the world. That is testing all the wines and spirits that go on sale in restaurants in this country. It's a really undesirable job. I don't know I'd want to work there. I've heard there's a 10-year waiting list to get your CV looked at. Anyway, to the left, there's a circular white building with timber frames and a thatched roof. The replica to Shakespeare's Globe and Playhouse Theatre. The only building in London to have a thatched roof since the Great Fire. You can see all Shakespearean plays acted out in period dress throughout the summer months of the year, but it is an open air theatre, so if it does rain, you will get wet. The next bridge, this is the Millennium Footbridge. It's more commonly known as the Wibbly Wobbly. On its opening ceremony, this bridge, it rocked and swayed so violently, people fell over and people were sick. On the people that fell over. Got shut down to add some stabilisation to it, but all I think it does from the river, takes our river view of St Paul's Cathedral on the right hand side. Look at our river view, absolutely ruined. St Paul's Cathedral though, St Christopher Wren's masterpiece. It was completed in 1710. It took 35 years to be built, and it's the second largest unsupported cathedral dome in the world, only second to St Peter's in the Vatican City. Now it does stand 365 foot tall, roughly translated for 1 foot for every day of the year. Now the bridge in front of us, ladies and gents, it's the Blackfriars Railway Bridge. You'll just see a train leaving the station there at the moment. So as I say, that's a railway station on top of the bridge. Now all the slanted roof panels, they're all solar panels. So I believe this bridge, it does generate, I think it's over 50% of its own electricity. Now it was done for the cost of about £500 million for the Olympics in 2012. Although it wasn't actually completed until 2013. So money well spent, ladies and gents. Now as we go through, either side of the boat, you'll see some freestanding red columns. They're the remains of the St Paul's Railway Bridge, which carried the first steam trains from London to Chatham and Dover. Now, if you look at the roof of the boat here, have a look how much clearance we've got between the boat and the bridge, ladies and gents. So we've got a tidal river here on the River Thames. It's a tidal river. The tide rises and falls all day long. Now, if the tide reaches 7.2 metres, this boat can actually not get through the bridge. Okay, so we get the bridge. It's only, about 6'8" or so, isn't it? But to the right, there's a grey building with a green roof. That's the old City of London School for Boys. We've had quite a few famous people educated there over the years. Beneath the green roof, you've got 4 different statues of men. From left to right, you've got Williams, Turner, Bacon. The 4th one back on the right with his Gucci jacket and football, that was David Beckham. No. We all know David didn't go to school. To the left-hand side, there's an orange building in brickwork. That's the Oxo Tower. So that's where they once made a famous little stock queue, better known as Mum's Gravy. It's not made there anymore. The first 2 floors are shops. There's some luxury, unaffordable housing in the middle. And at the top, you will find a very expensive restaurant by the name of Harvey Nichols. Now, coming up to on the right-hand side, ladies and gents, I suppose if you look on the embankment to the right, you'll see all cyclists. There's a big cycling event going on in London today. I think it's Ride London, but I don't know. Anyway, but staying to the right, if you look just above the river wall coming up, you'll see one of London's little iconic red telephone boxes. Now, we don't see many of those red telephone boxes in London nowadays. But that one in particular, I actually read in the Evening Standard newspaper about 2 weeks ago. That one's being converted into a luxury 2-bedroom apartment. Minimum bids are starting at £750,000. Let me know if you're interested, ladies and gents. Now, if we stay to the right-hand side, coming up, if you look on the river wall coming up, ladies and gents, you'll see some green lions' heads with rings in their mouths. Now those lions' heads, the green lions' heads, so they're an old flood defence system, these lions' heads, okay? When the river level was approaching those lions' heads back in the days, they knew that London was at risk of flooding. And to remember that, they had a few rhymes, and they go like this. When the lions are drinking, London is sinking. When the river goes up to the lion's manes, London is going down the drain. Now, I've got a bit of a modernised personal favourite for you. It goes like this. When the lion's heads are well and truly ducked, London is absolutely flooded. There are kids on board. Okay, kids on board. Also on the right hand side, behind the trees, the large building here with the green dome, Somerset House. This is where all the records of all births, marriages and deaths were recorded here in London. Because of that, over the years, that building, it has developed quite a bit of a curious nickname. We do refer to that as the Hatcham, Matcham and Dispatcham departments of London. Now, the next bridge. This is the Waterloo Road Bridge, and it's known as the Ladies' Bridge of the River Thames. Over 95% of the workforce, they were female when this bridge was under construction. and it has been faced in a very expensive self-cleaning Portland stone. Every time it rains, the bridge cleans itself. Now once through the bridge, over to the right hand side, behind the trees, the white building with the green roof, that's the back entrance to one of London's cheaper bed and breakfasts, known as the Savoy Hotel. It is about £2,000 a night to stay in that building, but for that money you actually get a complimentary English breakfast, okay, and you get 2 sausages with that. Alright, so don't feel too hard done by, ladies and gents. Now next to it on the right, you've got a grey building with a clock face, Shellmax House. Now the clock face on that building, it is actually 2 foot larger than the one on the Houses of Parliament. To give you an idea about how big that clock face is, if you take a look at the minute hand of it, it does take a whole hour just to go around once. It's massive, isn't it? Now the next bridge, ladies and gents, the next bridge, this is the Charing Cross Railway Bridge. Now Charing Cross Station, that's just to the right hand side of the bridge behind the trees. Now as we go through this bridge, it will be the only point on our journey which we are travelling over and under a railway system. So as we go through, we also travel over the Northern and Bakerloo line for London's underground system. But we've got a lovely tradition with this bridge, ladies and gents. What we like to do, we'll blow the ship's horn, we'll give everyone on that bridge a nice big wave, okay? There is a reason for this, so get involved. Come on in, let's have a wave, come on. Hello, hiya, you all right there? Hello, this is how we get these lovely people not to throw anything at the boat. It does work. There's another bridge here, so we've got to do it again, ladies and gents. Come on, let's have another wave. Come on, come on. Hello there, you all right? Hello. If they don't wave back, it just means they're Londoners and they're miserable. All right? Don't worry about it. Now, ladies and gents, over to the right-hand side, there's a large construction site here. London building a super sewage system at the moment. It's a £4.2 billion super sewage project, the Thames Tideway Tunnel. Now anyway, just past that on the right, you've got a large boat here, the Tattershall Castle pub on the Thames. Now that boat, it started its life on this river as a floating art gallery. Now it was a floating art gallery for an entire year. Now it didn't make much money, so they turned that into something that Londoners love instead, and that is a pub, especially a floating pub. It made more money in its first week as a pub than it did as an art gallery for an entire year. I think that says a few things about the type of artists we have here in London. I can't get into that. To the left hand side, you've got London's ugliest tourist attraction. That's the London Eyesore, and it's a giant Ferris wheel. It goes round. That's about it. On a clear sunny day, you can actually see up to 25 square miles from the top of the London Eye. So you can see Windsor Castle in the west and Dartford Bridge in the east. Now it is also registered for marriages, so you can get married on the London Eye. I wouldn't recommend it though. Marriage. You start your service at the bottom. By the time you get to the top, over the not so sunny skies of London, you are pronounced man and wife. You kiss your